Downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll roll him out right. A wild throw there, and it is intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And the Chiefs will take over here at their own 12-yard line. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go, tie ball game. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Open man right side is Rice. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. In motion, the tight end Kelsey. Throwing now is Mahomes. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Mahomes to throw once more. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And this one is incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Now Mahomes. Flushed out right. That one into the hands of Hopkins downfield. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. They run it with P. Ryan on 1st down. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. Here's Mahomes to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
No one left in the backfield as they send a man left. Flush to his right. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, as time expires in the first half. And the Chiefs have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. So they grab the lead just before half with a clock reading 0-0-0.
How about snatching things right at the end and grabbing a little bit of control? What a great way to go into the locker room. It's similar to a boxer flurrying in the last 30 seconds of a round and stealing the round. Great job.
So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. This taken in at the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Eluding the pressure right. This one into the hands of Aguilar. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And that one results in 35 yards.
This defense is definitely reeling a little bit now. Back-to-back big plays given up. And you know that's all defenses talk about. How do you limit that? Instead, they get hit by a 1-2 punch those last couple of plays, and now they've got their backs to the goal line.
Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. Jackson now. Flushed out right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
So it's 3rd and goal now, and this is where the Arrowhead crowd can make it very tough. Throwing is Jackson. To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Open man, it's the tight end, Kelsey. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco. They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Pacheco gets it again on 2nd down. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter. No time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Touchdown! Rashee Rice with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that. Jackson. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Here's Jackson to throw. And this is into the hands of Andrews downfield. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now Lamar changing the look. Now it's Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. 2nd and 5. Again, Jackson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. There he goes, right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.